Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Nama saya Nur Syafiqah binti Muhammad. Matrik saya 14DM20F 2008. Kami daripada kumpulan 5.
Hai, nama saya Ainul Munira binti Muhammad Yahya. Matrik nama saya 14DM20F 2009.
Saya sewa balan dari DM1A. Nombor pendaftaran saya ialah 14DM20F 2010.
Pengenalan setiap kaum. Malaysia merupakan salah satu negara berbilang kaum yang dapat hidup dengan harmoni. Antara 3 kaum utama di Malaysia ialah Melayu, Cina dan India. Telah pun menetap di tanah ini selama 5 abad. Selain itu, Malaysia juga merupakan tanah air kepada sebanyak kira-kira 80 kaum etnik, terutamanya di Malaysia Timur. Antaranya termasuklah Baba dan Nyonya, Kadazan Dusun dan Iban. Okey, pengenalan permainan tradisional pula merupakan permainan lama atau warisan yang diperturunkan dari generasi ke generasi sejak zaman nenek moyang kita. Antara contoh permainan tradisional adalah seperti wow, asing, congkak, yoyo Cina, mahjong dan lain-lain. Permainan tradisional Cina terbahagi kepada banyak jenis. Contoh-contohnya ialah mahjong. Mahjong berasal dari Cina pada 3,000 hingga 4,000 tahun yang lalu. Permainan jenis ini muncul sebelum zaman dinasti Shang lagi, iaitu kira-kira 1,600 tahun sebelum Masihi. Dulu mahjong merupakan permainan diraja dan golongan bangsawan yang memerintah. Dengan evolusi dalam sejarah yang panjang, mahjong beransur-ansur diperkenalkan kepada rakyat. Cara permainannya hari ini hampir sama dengan permainan tersebut pada zaman pertengahan dinasti Qing.
This is Mahjong, a tile-based game that originated in China some 300 years ago. Today, the game and its numerous variations are widely played throughout Asia, and it's gaining popularity in other parts of the world. Hi, I'm Winning. I've been playing Mahjong for as long as I can remember, and it's really easy to learn. But to play this game, I need 4 people, so I've invited my colleagues from SCNP to join me today to show you how it's done. The game is played with a set of 144 tiles based on Chinese symbols and characters. Try to think of them as playing cards in poker. To start the game, players first shuffle the tiles, roll the dice to decide who plays first, and each draws 13 tiles from the pool. The player who goes first draws 1 extra tile to kick off the game. Through the course of the game, players take turns to draw and discard tiles. In order to win, you need to form 4 suits and a pair. 2 of the same tiles are a pair. And you can form suits through combinations called qi, pong, gong. While playing, you can use tiles discarded by other players to form the ready hand. So keep an eye out, as the tile you need might turn up any minute during the course of the game. After you form the ready hand, just patiently wait for the tile you need to win. It can be a tile discarded by other players, or from a tile you draw from the deck. And when you win, you say, There are many ways to win, and the rules are slightly different in the many variations. But no matter what style you play, the key is always remember to have fun.
Seterusnya, Xiangqi, iaitu catur Cina. Xiangqi adalah sebuah permainan papan Cina yang dimainkan oleh 2 orang pemain. Xiangqi bentuk kini berasal dari China. Oleh itu, ianya digelar sebagai catur Cina. Permainan ini didapati telah mula dimainkan seawal abad ke-4 selepas Masihi di China. Xiangqi merupakan salah satu permainan papan yang paling popular di dunia.
Sekarang saya akan ulasan jalanan catur. Ini ialah kuda. Dia jalan jalanan begitu. Selain itu, ini ialah kereta. Ia boleh jalan setiap kali ke depan atau ke tepi sahaja. Ini ialah siang. ia boleh jalan serong sahaja. Ini ialah ping. Ia boleh jalan satu langkah ke depan sahaja. Ini ialah pau. Ia boleh menjalankan mana-mana tetapi memusnahkan satu jatuh di vira di depan atau di tepi sahaja. Ini ialah shi. Ia ialah satu jatuh pelindungan jatuh king. Ia boleh jalan di kotak ini sahaja. Ini ialah swai. Ia ialah jatuh king. Sekarang Kakek dan Henry akan membuat demo bermain catur Cina.
Nama saya Henry dari DCA.
Saya nama Kakien dari DCA.
Sekarang kita akan membuat demo untuk memainkan catur Cina.
Oleh itu, permainan Cina, Wiki, iaitu dikenali sebagai Go, merupakan permainan berpapan berstrategi untuk dua orang pemain, hanya menggunakan biji-biji berwarna hitam dan putih. Juga dikenali sebagai Wiki dalam bahasa Cina. Berasal dari China kuno berabad sebelum rujukan terawalnya dalam tulisan-tulisan pada abad ke-5 SM. Lebih popular di seluruh pelosok dunia, terkenal dengan strategi-strategi yang kompleks walaupun peraturan-peraturan yang mudah, dimainkan oleh dua orang pemain berganti-ganti meletakkan batu hitam atau putih di atas persilangan grid garis. Saiz piawai bagi grid ini adalah 19x19.
Go is played on a square grid of lines, typically 19 intersections to a side. Other common board sizes are the 13x13 board and the 9x9 board. If you're just learning how to play, it's a good idea to play your first few matches on smaller boards. You'll get a good feel for the game. These smaller boards are also great if you don't have time for a full match. Each player uses a set of stones, typically colored black and white. The objective of the game is to surround more territory than your opponent. There are 4 main rules to Go. The first rule deals with the flow of the game. In a standard match, black begins. Each player takes it in turn to place a single stone onto an intersection. Stones that are placed on the board stay on their respective intersections and are not moved unless captured by an opponent. The second rule deals with how stones are captured. The empty intersections next to a stone are called liberties. A single stone in the middle of the board has 4 liberties, a stone on the side has 3 liberties, and a stone in the corner has 2 liberties. Stones that have all liberties occupied by stones of the opposite color are removed from the board and taken by the opponent as captures. Connected stones of the same color share their liberties, and if captured, are captured as a group. A group that is under the threat of being captured, or in other words has only 1 liberty, is said to be an Atari. You're only allowed to place a stone in a position without liberties to immediately capture at least 1 opposing stone. Most rule sets disallow playing moves that would sacrifice a group of your own stones without benefit. The third rule is the rule of eternity, or co-rule. You may not immediately replicate a previous board position. Take a look at the scenario shown on the board. Black can capture 1 white stone by playing here. Remember that it's okay to place the black stone here, even if it seems like it wouldn't have any liberties, since it's making a capture. Now, given that it's white's turn, couldn't it capture the stone that was just played? Not according to Ko. Allowing captures like this would create an endless back and forth. Unlike chess, where multiple repetitions is one way to force a draw, Go's Ko rule disallows players from replicating previous positions. A player can, however, play in a prior spot if both players first place stones elsewhere on the board. While the local situation is unchanged, the 2 other new stones mean that the original position has not been replicated. Having to manage control of situations like this, a co-fight, is one of the most difficult parts of playing Go. The fourth rule deals with how the game ends and how it is scored. Instead of playing a stone, a player is allowed to pass, which is done when the player feels they've no more available, worthwhile moves. The game ends when each player passes in succession. Dead stones are immediately removed from the board as captures. Territory is counted for each player by the number of empty intersections surrounded by their stones. A point counts as territory when it can only reach stones of a single player's color. Each player's score is also reduced by a number of points equal to the number of stones that was captured by their opponent. Typically, this is done by placing captured prisoners into territories. It should also be noted that there are other scoring systems used depending on the rule set, but the method used will usually not change the outcome of the game unless the difference is by a single point. The player with the higher resulting score wins the game. In a game against evenly matched opponents, the player with the white stone usually gets compensation for having gone second, called komi. The compensation is usually 6.5 or 7.5 points, with the half point serving to break ties. For games against slightly uneven opponents, komi might be reduced to only a half point. In more unbalanced matches, the black player might start the game with multiple stones on the board, with the white player making the first actual move instead. These four rules, the flow of the play, capturing, eternity rule, and scoring, make up the game of Go. However, there's one important implication of the rules that should be explained before you can really start playing. This subject of life and death will be covered in the next video.
Saya akan membentangkan tentang Yo-Yo Cina, iaitu salah satu permainan tradisional Cina. Salah satu contoh permainan tradisional Cina iaitu Yo-Yo Cina. Permainan ini dipercayai telah wujud sejak dinasti Ming sekitar tahun 1386 hingga tahun 1644 selepas Masihi. Yo-Yo Cina tradisionally terbuat daripada buluh. Oleh sebab ia diperbuat daripada buluh, Yo-Yo Cina ini mudah patah dan tak sesuai untuk aksi-aksi lasak. Yo-Yo Cina adalah permainan dari Cina yang ada dua cakra yang sama, saiz dihubungkan oleh gandar yang panjang. Yo-Yo Cina akan sentiasa berpusing pada tali yang akan diikat pada dua batang kayu kecil. Selain itu, sesetengah Yo-Yo Cina dimasukkan alat yang menghasilkan bunyi apabila dipusingkan dengan laju. Bunyi ini akan membolehkan permainannya mengimbangkan kelajuan Yo-Yo Cina. Penutup yang terdapat daripada permainan tradisional Cina iaitu terdapat banyak faedah yang boleh diperolehi daripada permainan tradisional seperti boleh mengeratkan silaturahim sesama manusia, menyihatkan badan dan dapat melihara warisan budaya. Selain itu, Negara dapat mempromosikan permainan tersebut sebagai salah satu aktiviti yang perlu diperkenalkan kepada pelancongan-pelancongan yang datang ke Malaysia. Ia juga akan menjadikan kebangsaan rakyat Malaysia sendiri. Oleh itu, masyarakat Malaysia harus memeliharakan dan mempertahankan warisan nenek moyang ini yang begitu bermakna.